guys, it's Bailey and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a quick little review of a new foundation from L'Oreal. This is their Infallible Pro-Matte Foundation. It retails for around $11. It's about what I picked mine up for. I haven't seen it for any less, unfortunately, because that is a little bit pricier for a drugstore foundation. But of course, you can always look for it on sale, buy one get one half off, all those kinds of deals really wherever L'Oreal is sold. This is kind of a different thing than what L'Oreal has done in the past, at least as far as my experience goes, and I have tried quite a few of their foundations. The packaging is not only different, but on the back here they have an entire kind of checklist of things you can expect from this foundation, which I really like because it kind of lays it all out for you. Sometimes I'm left guessing as to what exactly a foundation is promising beyond finish or lasting power. Some only say it's going to last 24 hours, but they don't say what kind of finish it's going to be or what skin type it's going to be best for. This really makes it very clear. For starters, it says the finish is supposed to be demi-matte, which honestly from the title Pro-Matte I wouldn't have guessed, but like I said, they're laying it all out back here. The wear is up to 24 hours, which is quite a bold claim. The coverage is medium and the texture is supposed to be air light. I am using the shade 103 or Natural Buff. This is just a hair too deep for me. You might not be able to tell here on camera, but in the daylight it's pretty noticeable and it's very warm leaning for what tends to be a pretty neutral undertone. This as a line is kind of, well, definitely more narrow than a lot of the other L'Oreal foundations that are out there. There are only 12 shades in this line, and unlike a few of the others, there isn't that cool warm duality, or even some of them have that neutral shade as well. So it might be a little tricky for people to find their shade match in this foundation, but for the most part, honestly, it's something I'm willing to get over for the way it wears. So as this says, it promises a demi-matte finish. I'd say it's pretty full on matte. If I have any sort of dewiness to my skin right now, it is because I've added highlighter, but I think you'll be able to see from the before and after pictures, it really goes on as sort of a full on matte foundation. And then it does say it has oil control. It's an oil control formula, and I really think it sticks to that. It held up really, really well throughout the day. Once again, as you'll be able to see throughout the course of, an 8 to 10 hour day wear. Now as I mentioned here before on the channel, have combination skin, so excess oil production, especially in my T-zone, is a problem for me. So I tend to really appreciate a good matte, semi-matte foundation, especially when they can control oil throughout the day. So I definitely noticed that this was able to do that. And what's awesome is that it didn't oxidize. The coverage they say is medium. I say that's about right. I do think it's buildable beyond medium a little bit, but I wouldn't say it would cover kind of severe hyperpigmentation or under-eye discoloration, things like that. I definitely still have to go in with a concealer into my really hardcore trouble areas, but I would say for the most part this is a layerable foundation, so you absolutely get the medium coverage that thoroughly evens out your skin tone, but even beyond that you can kind of use this to fudge and really correct even trickier imperfections. And as far as the texture goes, I would say it's light, but of the L'Oreal lines, I would say that the Magic Liquid Powder, whatever that's called, a foundation that didn't personally work out for me, but I have in fact tried, the texture of that is definitely lighter than this. I would put this at more of a medium texture by comparison, but it is by no means thick. You're not going to get excess cakiness, despite the fact that it is a matte foundation that promises oil control. I didn't experience any cakiness even when I layered it, which is fantastic. So it's definitely not a thick foundation, but maybe not. Air light isn't what I would use to describe it. It's just like a nice light feeling foundation. Now for the wear claim. I don't like to sleep on my makeup. I don't need my makeup to last 24 hours at the very most. There is a 12-hour, 16-hour, and 24-hour marker on here, and of course the 24-hour marker is the one checked off as to how long this is going to last for. I maybe tap out at 16 hours. There's no way I need to pull an all-nighter in my foundation, so I didn't really test it for that, but I can say this is a very durable foundation. 12-hour, absolutely. 16-hour, sure, I thought it held up really nicely. 24-hour, I wasn't even gonna test. But all that being said, of course, it had awesome lasting power. Overall, I really like this foundation, and one of you guys asked me on Twitter which I prefer, because there are a few matte foundations coming out in the drugstore market, especially as of late. The other one being Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I recently reviewed this along with the setting powder a few videos back, so I'll link to that in the info bar below if you want to check it out. But just to give you the abridged version and comparison between the two of these, I much prefer the L'Oréal Infallible Pro-Matte over the Fit Me. I didn't notice this holding up as well throughout the day. I would say the texture is lighter with this though, if you tend to prefer something that's a little lighter in your foundation, but as far as wear, lasting power, kind of what else you need your foundation to do, the L'Oreal outperformed the Fit Me a million times over. However, that is my personal experience. A lot of people in the comment section of the Fit Me review were saying that it worked for them and they did have combination to oily skin, which is what this says it's meant for. So definitely go check that review out and especially read and talk amongst yourselves in the comments section because everyone has different experiences. But if you ask me and if you think we have similar skin types, I personally prefer the L'Oreal just for everything it does, the finish, the lasting power, etc., etc. So that's it from me, guys. I hope this review was helpful. You learned everything you needed to know about L'Oreal's new matte foundation. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.